Hey out there, fellow nerd and nerdettes. Today on Comic Talk Quick Talk, we're speculating on just who Rey is and how she fits into the world of Star Wars. So, clear your mind. Alright guys, one quick thing. Tomorrow, we have our first comic collection submission, and this one comes from a true rock and roll master and Star Wars aficionado. He truly has a beautiful collection if I say so myself. Also guys, we're taking a step out of DC talk for a couple of days since The Flash, Arrow, and Legends has come to a season close. So this week, we're gonna talk about Marvel's Netflix push and just how we feel about Punisher having his own original Netflix series. So, Rey. Where'd she come from? Well, there's been an absolute ton of speculation on the internets about her origins, and truthfully, you can blame this all on JJ's classic mystery box filmmaking. He just loves to leave you with massive amounts of questions. Where am I? What was that? They're all dead? I actually don't think JJ is entirely responsible for that one. Most people are convinced that she's a Skywalker, and some even go as far to say that she's the bastard child of Palpatine, which is just, I mean, if JJ and Disney go there. Truthfully though, I'm convinced that she's the granddaughter or descendant of legendary Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi. And guys, I actually have some things that kind of support this. First of all, let's talk about what happened after the prequels. Now, if you really wanted to get into the events that took place after and between these magnificent masterpieces, you could technically get into the animated series like Rebels or the Clone Wars, but those stories are limited to newer characters in Rebels and then events that take place between episode 2 and episode 3. And they're basically just filling in the gaps between two of the bigger events that took place in the Star Wars mythos. We do know that Kenobi went into retreat on Tatooine, essentially just watching over Anakin's Jedi gear and really Anakin's son. So there is a large portion of Kenobi's life that we really don't know anything about. And in that time, he totally could have romanced a sweetie and had himself some offspring. Now you're like, Nick, it's forbidden for a Jedi to get married or even have kids. And to that I say, the Jedi Council is destroyed. All Padawans are dead and gone thanks to Anakin. So he didn't really have anyone to come down on him for his actions. Why not try to rebuild the Jedi legacy from the seed of a truly powerful Jedi? I mean, it seems logical to me. Second, the Force Vision sequence. Most people use this as proof that she is Luke Skywalker's daughter, but that lightsaber wasn't just used by the Skywalkers. I mean, for a majority of its existence, it actually had been in the hands of Obi-Wan, so he definitely has a connection to it. Another big piece of proof for me is that during this sequence, we hear Obi-Wan talking directly to Rey, even calling her out by name. For this part, actually, they called in Ewan McGregor to record part of the phrase and then pulled a deep cut line from Alec Guinness saying, "Afraid," from the old films to form the line, "Rey, these are your first steps." I mean, that's a ton of trouble to go through when in that same sequence, they literally use dialogue straight from scenes in the original trilogy. To me, that seems like a clue left in there by JJ, or he just really likes messing with people's heads, which he clearly does. Finally, Star Wars in its entirety has been about this idea of redemption and the battle between light and dark. But at its core, it's really about a battle between two people who have essentially turned their backs on one another, almost forced to become enemies. The battle between Skywalker and Kenobi. So to me, it would make complete sense for us to see all of Star Wars come full circle and provide Obi-Wan with a true sense of redemption. I mean, think about it real fast. Obi-Wan failed to bring his friend back from the dark side, not just once, but many times. And although Luke did bring his father back at the end of Jedi, it was way too late. There had already been just an insane amount of damage done for him to be truly redeemed. Now, with The Force Awakens, again, there is another massive failure on the part of a Skywalker, since Luke trained Kylo Ren, who in turn murdered all of Luke's Jedi Padawan, essentially doing exactly as Kylo's grandfather had done before. So to me, the Force Redeemer isn't Luke by that example, because for one, Luke has already tasted the dark side and struggles with it still. And we can see that in The Force Awakens. He has definitely failed at restoring balance to the Force. You know who didn't really have that struggle much at all? Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's also someone who has never been truly redeemed throughout the entire Star Wars epic. That's why I think this time we're gonna see balance restored to the Force with a final redeeming battle between Kenobi and Skywalker, Rey and Kylo Ren. There may even be a slight callback to the episode 3 volcano battle that made Vader. All in all, guys, with all of this in play and everything we've seen in The Force Awakens as well as the events of the past, I'm pretty certain we're heading down a path where Rey is a descendant of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If this isn't the case, then in my opinion, they're really shutting themselves themselves off from a story that is both new, expanding, and refreshing. I think having things play out in this way would allow them to have more freedom when straying away from what the original trilogy and prequels were all about. I am absolutely interested in being shown this universe through someone else's eyes that's completely separate from the events that we have previously seen. I mean, that just seems so refreshing and enticing. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. The next couple of episodes again are gonna be Star Wars themed because our first comics collection submission is absolutely just the best collection I've seen in a really long time. If you wanna have your comics collection shared on our show, post your video or pictures to any of our social media sites with the hashtag ComicTalkCollector, or send us a message on Facebook. Links for all of these are in the down there. Till next time, Nerdites, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and support. Use the Force.